Welcome to Willamette Family Men's Residential Program. I'd like to take a few minutes to describe the services that we offer here and the approach that we take to treatment here for men and their distinct issues that come with them. Our services are inclusive of everything it takes to address an individual when they come to treatment. We help them with resolution of medical and emotional issues here. We're able to provide them with parenting classes here. We're able to connect them with community resources to address their medical needs if they come to us with no resource at all. Typically, the length of stay here is between 60 and 90 days. Some of our folks come to us with issues that are extensive, long-term chronic use. An array of services are required to address all of their needs. Our treatment approach here is to treat the whole client, not just the substance abuse issues as it was, say, 10 or 15 years ago. Our approach is geared around making sure that whole person gets addressed here. Now, if there's a family to reunite with, then part of the treatment plan approach is that. If there is a need for parenting enhancement, then that person is in parenting class. If emotional issues are discovered during the course of substance abuse treatment, then mental health services are made available on site. It's a different treatment approach today than it was yesterday.
My name is Scott John, and I'm a counselor and case manager with the Men's Residential Center. We work with a pretty unique population here. Typically people who either have been extensively involved with criminal behavior, long-term alcoholics, and usually individuals who are mandated to treatment. Our basic principle is to try to instill these guys with an opportunity to have a chance on whether they use or not. We try to teach them how to identify and categorize their emotions, and with that empower them with the opportunity of changing some of their core belief systems that they may have developed as adolescents. Over the course of treatment, they're going to have an opportunity to learn how to interact with their peers. We use a lot of the 12-step tenets like personal accountability, taking personal inventory, being willing to share how they're feeling and interact with their peers. We try to develop a sense of awareness in the immediate, living in the next 24 hours, and we have some peer and staff-oriented interventions that we use for doing that. It can be as simple as remembering to turn off a light bulb or turn off a light switch when they walk out, and creating that sense of what am I doing right now? How am I feeling about this particular moment? And if it's not something that I feel comfortable with, finding and seeking out somebody to share that information with, and so that we can begin to build appropriate pro-social relationships, not only in this environment, in the therapeutic environment, but also that will carry out and translate into the recovery community. We feel it's really important that we transition the individuals immediately into some sort of community support group, that they acquire some sort of sponsorship or mentorship prior to leaving, and to work on those relationships while they're here in treatment so that their continuity of care is smooth and supportive, and they're able to make that transition as speedily as needed. That we try to develop a safe and structured environment where the interactions with staff and peer and even the community, it lays down the groundwork for building appropriate communication amongst even authority figures, and also learning how to ask for help, which is a lot of times the downfall of many of the population that we deal with. They've always believed that they've had the proper solution, whether that's escaping or just denying the fact that there is an issue, and learning from their peers, from the community, from staff, that there's another way of life and there's another way of coping, and that in the long run, it's going to be a lot healthier than returning to old behavior, which is using and drinking.
arrived here at Willamette Family Men's Treatment Services from my substance abuse, I had nothing more than a plastic bag with a change of clothes. So I went through treatment services here. I was an inpatient for approximately 105 days, and I've now have 12 years of continuous sobriety. When I first arrived here, I had no clue, and the staff did a very, very good job of teaching me that all of my problems were my problems and not everybody else's. I owe my continued sobriety to the tools that I had learned here and practice here in the men's facility. I took outside when I graduated the program. I took with me, and thank goodness I did, because it wasn't an easy road when I got back out there to the real world.
So I was in treatment for 3 months, and then they let me live here an extra additional month, and I was able to go out and get a job. And so I started having visits with my kids again while I was in treatment. Within a year of getting out of treatment, I ended up getting my 3 kids returned to me. I was a single dad. I've been married now for 18 years. We ended up blending our family. I had 3 kids, she had 3 kids, so we ended up raising 6 kids. And I've had the same job now for 19 years, and just celebrated 21 years clean and sober in July this last year.
Okay, so I'm Bill Pott. I'm a men's residential counselor. I've been here for 15 years, working my way up. And what we do here is we help men with the disease of addiction. We teach them about the disease model is what we use. We have an alumni association as well who meet here once a month, and they come in here and talk about what it is they want to do to be a part of helping clients when they come out of treatment, and helping them get sponsors, and sometimes even help with provide some financial aid, not a lot, but a little bit, to help them get into recovery houses. And we always have make sure a client has a place to live before they leave here. Most times we'll go into a men's recovery house, or some will be returning to home. But we don't ever discharge somebody that doesn't have a place to go when they complete this program.
I had a probation officer for about 15 years that never gave up on me, and kept helping me one treatment after another until I got into Carlton House. And after treatment and being clean for a few years, him and I would go out for lunch, and we would talk about, he would remind me of how I used to be, and it's like night and day. It's like I remember being that person in the bar, sleeping in that bar and seeing the smoke filled over the pool tables, and remember missing my kids. And it doesn't even seem like how that could have ever even been me today.
Issues our men come in with today are more extensive. They come in with more collateral issues than what we saw in the past. By the time they get to us, they've done a lot of damage, and their self-esteem is low, and their self-concept is bad. They come in sometimes with high levels of motivation, but with little confidence. And our treatment approach is to build a rapport with them, and to help to kind of coach them, and to get them pointed in that right direction towards a plan that can solve some of these issues that have baffled them for years, where they continue to create the same sets of circumstances that get them the same sets of results. We're looking to help them change lives here. Thank you very much.